7:30, and can we all please rise? The flag is on this side. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. Okay. Tonight, the board has the pleasure of promoting 4 officers and having them swear in the oath. And that, where you are, stop moving. Could the officers please come forward?
You want to call them by name?
Yeah, once you start.
Lieutenant Kevin Phillips, Sergeant Michael Bauer, Sergeant Christopher Cariso, and Sergeant Scott Sheehan. Over here, guys. You going to hold the mic?
Yes.
Okay. Just remember, you all like the Packers tonight. Okay. So you're just going to raise your hand and repeat after me. All of you at once. Can you, you want to come over? Yeah. There you go. You're blocking them out. I state your name.
I, Kevin Phillips,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Police Lieutenant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Chief, could you want to go over to the podium and we'll call the officers up one at a time?
I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'd also like to thank the board for assisting with the process earlier in October. The 3 sergeants have been to sergeant school. They'll all graduate tomorrow. And with that being said, I'd like to thank all of them for their dedication and devotion. This is my first time having to promote anybody, so forgive me if it doesn't flow. But with that being said, I'd like to invite up the Sergeant Michael Bauer and his family.
Don't stick them.
I'd like to invite up Sergeant Chris Caruso and his family. Okay, last person I'd like to invite up is Sergeant Scott Sheehan and his family. Again, I'd like to thank you. I needed the supervisors. Thank you for allowing me to promote them, but please keep in mind that we need a detective now also. So I'm hoping we can start that process as early as next week. Thank you.
Thank you. So just to sum it up on behalf of the board, we participated in the interviews. It was a very enlightening interview process. I'd like to thank all the officers who participated in the interviews, congratulate the ones who did get promoted at this time, and hopefully the others will not discouraged and will come back when the next opportunity arises. And as exiting supervisor, it's been my privilege and honor to work with you gentlemen and ladies. And for the new officers who are here, you've come to a really good department and a good town. So thank you all, and if you'd like to leave with your families, I totally understand. Okay, we're still on the clock, right, Jeff? So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to resume the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, board members, we'd like to resume the meeting.
Give him a minute or so. Let them know that.
He wasn't.
There goes the expensive camera.
You want to see Jeff or eat Jeff? Okay, so let's take care of administrative business at this point. I need a motion and a second to accept the minutes, dated November 2nd. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Then we have a budget modification. Would you read that, please, Des?
The modification this evening is for the budget of the Buildings and Grounds Department by decreasing A 1620.471 police station repairs by $6,000 and increasing A 1620.200 equipment by $6,000.
May I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. We have an abstract.
The abstract this evening is abstract number 20. It contains vouchers 2017-1940 through 2017-1999, and it totals $1,038,697.82.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
All right. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So now we have a choice of adopting the fiscal year 2018 budget. At our last meeting, the Councilman Palermo asked that we not adopt the budget due to the fact that we did not have a full board. Tonight, we do not have a full board.
That's correct, Council.
However, I will entertain an offer of a motion and a second if you wish to adopt the budget. If not, we will wind up with a tentative budget. So how does the board feel? What do you want to do to proceed?
I spoke to council this morning, or this afternoon, in regards to that, because we have an existing motion on the floor of Robert's Rules. He stated because if the board decides not to want to go to a tentative, we could choose to override the motion. But the motion sits, as Councilman Palermo states, he wants the entire board to vote on the motion.
I'm fine with voting on the budget tonight, personally.
I'd like to go ahead.
But yeah, I understand what Councilman Essick is saying,
Right.
but we have timeframes. that we have to.
Timeframe is if you don't vote on it by November 20th, then the tentative budget goes into effect automatically by law.
That's correct.
Yeah. I think we've worked through the budget and put it up or down.
Okay.
tonight. So I'll make a motion.
All right, so before we do that, I just want to make a note that we did receive a letter from James Fryban in reference to our budget. And the end result, I mean, I have a document that's probably about 4 paragraphs, but the end result is that he feels the town budget should be about $6 million, $6,051,881. So I just want that part of the record. So now, if you wish to make that motion,
I'll make that motion.
do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we need a roll call?
Yes, we
Yeah, you
do.
need a roll call.
Councilman Hunter,
Yes.
Councilman Arone,
Yes.
Councilman Essig,
Yes.
Supervisor Sutz,
Yes.
and Councilman Palermo is absent.
Correct. Okay, let's move on to some new business. We have a presentation from Eagle Scout, Jacob Osborne. Are you set? Would you want to come up to the podium, turn on the speaker, and tell everybody what you want to do? Okay. Okay.
Hi, my name is Jacob Osborne. I am a Boy Scout and a junior at Monday Woodbury High School.
Is the speaker
Turn
on?
that
Speaker
button on so you
Should be
see a green light. See it?
Hello?
There you go.
There you go.
I'm a Boy Scout at Woodbury Troop 4. I have been involved in scouting since first grade. I am currently a Life Scout and working towards to become an Eagle. One of the requirements of being an Eagle Scout is to create a service project for the community. I play basketball at Brickley Field very often, and I have noticed that on a basketball court there are no benches. Installing benches will make the basketball court a safer place to play. Players will be able to use the benches. Instead of the ground to keep the personal items safe, I will also be more convenient. It will be more convenient for players to have a bench to sit on. Installing benches at the Brickley Field will enhance the park and make it safer for all players. And here is a display of the project. You guys see that? So I would have the benches right here. And I would have 2 right there.
Could you point to one of them for me, please? Right there, there we go. Great, thank you.
You can't see that far. When you first walk in, is it to the right, like by the swing set? Is that where you're putting the
Yeah.
benches? Okay.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah, it's right around the block from my house, I know.
Yeah.
My kids play ball there every day.
Yeah, near St. Patrick's.
Yep.
So, So can you tell the board a little bit about how you're going to do this, how you're going to raise the money, and what materials you're going to use?
I'm gonna be coordinating everyone as the troop, and I'm gonna ask local organizations for donations.
And what kind of money do you think you're going to have to raise? Do you know an amount? Do you have an idea?
Around 400
$400? And the benches are going to be made of what?
wood.
Wood benches?
Yeah.
And the sample is up there on the right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I met with Jacob, I don't know, a while ago, right? And his plan seemed to make sense to me at the time, that right now, if the kids are there playing ball and the ground happens to be wet, their jackets, their book bags, whatever they're carrying lays on the ground, and, you know, it's going to get a little bit soiled. So the idea was, put some benches there, so one, if they're not playing, they have a place to sit without getting wet or sitting in the dirt. And two, they can put their personal belongings, whether it be their cell phones or whatever, so they're not on the ground and also getting ruined. Does the board have any questions? Bob?
Are the benches attached to the ground somehow?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, there's gonna be like a cement ground under it.
So they can't be like pushed around?
No.
Okay.
He was going to put like a concrete post in the ground,
Yeah.
right? And then the benches were going to be anchored to that. Any other questions, Bob?
Nope.
Tim?
That was my question.
Mike?
Sorry, Tim.
No, I think it's a great idea. Finally, somebody came up with it. Kudos.
Okay. Thank you, Jacob. All right, so having heard his presentation, if the board is in favor of this, can I have a motion and a second to proceed?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, so Jacob, what we'll need is, there's paperwork involved, right? We
Yes.
talked about that, and then you're going to have to give us a timeline. I don't think you're going to get to it this winter. I don't know if that's your
March
plan.
31st.
Spring, as soon as the ground thaws, so you can dig into the ground and do it. And we have our Building and Grounds Department who will assist you. If you need any heavy equipment or any tools of special needs, talk to Bobby Blair
Yeah.
from the Building and Grounds, and he'll either use the tool and get you going, because we don't want you using that kind of stuff, that kind of equipment, or he'll guide you into what to do, okay?
Okay.
And if you have any problems, then you come see one of the board members, and we'd be more than happy to help you walk through it.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay,
Thanks very much.
thanks.
Yep, good luck.
Okay, so now we have to discuss the New York paid family leave. I don't know if you all are up on this, if you read it all. We have not found a municipality that has opted in yet. And the reason is, this is something that the employee will be paying for, not the employer. And if the employee pays for it, being that we have unions, you have to negotiate it into the union contract. That's kind of an overview of everything. So you need to read this first? So if you choose to make a motion in a second, then Des will read all this, and then we can vote on it.
Well, I just need. The motion, the resolution, there was an option that you had to choose whether you're going to opt in or opt out. So
Right.
I can read it as opt in, or I can read it as opt out.
So my suggestion is we opt out, because if you don't negotiate it into the union contracts, then you're going to wind up going to Albany.
I think that was the discussion that we discussed over the emails.
I only got two emails back, so.
Yeah, I, for public employees, you have the option of opt-in, opt-out. Private employees, you do not.
Correct.
So I would suggest that we opt out.
Right.
On that.
Bob, you agree?
Yeah, opt out.
Okay, so let's read it. Do I need a motion second first?
Usually I read it first. and then
Okay,
make
go
a
ahead.
motion. Whereas the New York paid family leave is an employee paid benefit that will mandate up to 12 weeks of job-protected paid leave to address family-related issues, and whereas these family-related issues include bonding with a newborn, adopted or foster care child during the first 12 months after birth or placement, caring for a seriously ill family member, or addressing important needs related to a family member's military service. And whereas in order for an employee to be eligible for this program, they must work at least 20 hours a week for at least 26 consecutive weeks, or work less than 20 hours a week for at least 175 days. And whereas as a public employer, the town of Woodbury has the option to either opt in or opt out of this program. And whereas if the town of Woodbury decides to opt into the paid family leave program, it is required to submit an application and plan to the New York State Workers' Compensation Board, along with providing notice to its employees at least 90 days before collecting employee contributions through payroll deduction, which would be 0.126%. And whereas any collective bargaining units may negotiate with the town of Woodbury to offer paid family leave benefits if their membership wishes to participate in this program. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Woodbury hereby elects to not participate in the New York paid family leave program at this time, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to send a certified copy of this resolution to the Workers' Compensation Board and the disability carrier, who is Westco Insurance Company, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby directed to notify each employee of the town's decision to not opt into this program at this time.
Can I just add one other comment, Mr. Supervisor?
Yeah.
I believe, too, correct me if I'm wrong, that just because we opt out now does not mean we can't opt in at a later date.
That's correct. We can
So
opt in
just
at
let the
any
public
time.
know.
You're
Let the
absolutely
That's why we
public know.
said at this time.
Yeah.
But it still
Exactly.
needs to be negotiated, though.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. But
Yeah.
if it's negotiated, because the contracts all don't come due at the same time.
That's correct.
You know, it may take a while longer for one than the other union. So based upon all that information, can I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Would you read the supervisor's report, please?
I absolutely will. The supervisor's report for October 2017 has receipts totaling $448,292.11 and disbursements totaling $806,907.46.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. In addition, we received the town clerk's report, building and grounds report, animal control, police communications, police commissioners, there were none, beautification committee, and library, there were none. So, oh, I'm sorry. And then Parks and Rec there was, and budget versus actual for October. So, going out to the public, row 1, does anybody have any comments? Row 2. Row 3. Row 4. Row 5. Back of the room. Maria, Chief?
Public comments are about the upcoming holiday at the Woodbury Common. Expect heavy traffic in the southern end of town, and like I normally say, well, during holidays, seek alternate routes. If there should be anybody who does not know an alternate route of how to get to the southern end of town, please have them, feel free to call the police department. We'll be more than happy to give you directions. We expect a heavy weekend. Woodbury Common will be open from 9 a.m. in the morning on Thanksgiving, and will stay open continuously till 11 p.m. on Friday afternoon, Friday
evening.
So expect a lot of traffic.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Chief? No?
Again, thank you for the promotions. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate all your assistance.
No problem. Maria?
Just as a note, as a member, former member of the committee that was for Exit 131, I saw Assemblyman Skoufis the other night, and he told me that announcement should be made by the end of the month, first week in December. They're awarding the contract soon, and then there'll be a informational data will be given out to the public to let them know what's going to happen with Exit 131. So the preliminary steps have been taken, so once they award the contract, and we'll see next spring. It won't interfere with next week's traffic, but come next spring. And one thing I did find out is that the high tension wires that go across from Orange and Rockland Substation through to the entrance of Woodbury Common, and through Woodbury Common, there will be work starting next year to have those lines buried, which is probably going to coincide with Exit 131. So residents will be forewarned, and let everyone will know as progress goes on of what the construction status will be for Exit 131 and the transmission lines.
As the
So,
chief said, find alternate routes.
Yep, learn them.
Maria, I got a question for you. Do we know off the top of our head when the new company gets, I guess, the bid? Will they be putting out alerts to us, or we're gonna be responsible to notify the residents?
In my conversation with Assemblyman Skoufis, he promised me that he will work on getting some information out, because we've been talking about it. So it'll come from, hopefully from him, once he knows exactly what's going on, who gets the bid. And then once he has it, he'll give it to the board, and then we can do it via,
And at the last meeting that the mayor and I went to, which was several months ago, though, they did say that they would keep the village and the supervisor informed, as well as the police department.
Right.
How accurate that is, we'll wait and see.
and I know James has been very close to this project, and he's been keeping up on, and as Supervisor stated, we'll get the information. So, but everyone needs to understand that in front of the school, all the way to just past to the exit, was it the Route 6 overpass exit? All that is going to be involved in the construction. The new bridge is going to go in. It's going to be a 6-lane highway from the bridge through to the front of the school.
And they're taking down the toll plaza.
Well, the toll plaza right now, I haven't,
On the throughway there.
On the throughway
Not-
end of it.
Not on 17
not on
going to the
17.
throughway.
So, and land has been acquired, and I know they've been working on that. So it's going to be it's a project that's supposedly going to last about 18 months
Right,
for
2
that
years.
alone.
18 months to 2
18 months
years.
is lucky.
That's only phase one.
Yeah, that's only, well, they're doing it all in one phase now.
Right, it's all one phase
It's all
now.
one phase now, so it's going to be a major
Yep.
inconvenience to all of us, and we'll deal with it.
But when it's done,
Yep.
traffic will flow much better than it does today.
And it will help and alleviate, as everyone says, the Woodbury Common traffic, because there's a whole different design, because I've just reviewed it the other day
Yep.
with Woodbury Common, and they're working with the DOT, and there's going to be
Flyovers.
circles
Clover
around. and
leaves.
we're going to lose 2 traffic lights, that's a good thing.
Right,
And no left-hand turns onto the thruway.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bob?
I'd like to congratulate our 3 new sergeants in their new supervisory positions. I'm sure they'll do well, and I'm pleased with the selection. And looking forward to working with them. It should be good for the police department. And Chief, if you could text me those alternate routes, I'd appreciate it, because I have no idea how to get through there. Thanks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Tim?
I'd like to congratulate, Lieutenant Phillips, Sergeant Bauer, Sergeant Caruso, and Sergeant Sheehan on their promotion. I'd also like to congratulate Councilman Hunter, Town Clerk, Potvin, Councilman Palermo, Ms. Hernandez on your recent election victory. Look forward to working with all of you guys again, and to all of the candidates that put themselves out there. Thank you all for running. We had a big voter turnout. We had lots of different options, and we had a great voter turnout, which is great. So thank you to all the candidates that put themselves out there. It's we all know up here it's definitely not easy. So thank you, and everyone be safe and have a great Thanksgiving.
Mike?
I also want to extend my congratulations to the 3 sergeants and the lieutenant. It's not hard picking, and I got to tell you something that maybe somebody in the audience as well as myself, when your mom's here and you get your badge on from your mom, it means a lot. So I know I see some people in the audience that understand what I'm saying, and some people who will probably see this later on. So that means a lot when you can receive to be pinned by your mom. Again, I want to congratulate everybody that ran. I just think that it shows that people care for the town. I was not happy to see some Facebook posts. I think things went a little too far. I think seriously, we have to worry about our town. We can't let residents try to attack each other on Facebook. I think people have to understand we care about our community. That's emotion, that's feelings. But it's over, elections are done, and let's worry about our town and our residents. And I want to congratulate Ms. Hernandez, welcome aboard. I want to congratulate you. Councilman Palermo, who's now our new supervisor, is not here tonight. We'll congratulate him moving on. Bob, of course, congratulations, welcome back. Supervisor, we'll miss you. But,
It's
I
okay
just
by
want
me.
to say it was a pleasure to work with everybody. So, everybody that ran, it takes a lot to put a lot of time away from your family. People just don't see it. It takes a lot of time. So I just want to say congratulations to all, and it's good that people care about our community, that you want to get involved, that you want to be part of it, and at the end of the day, you'll know what it's like to sit up here. That's it.
No? You don't want to talk about spaghetti dinner?
I can, but nobody will see it
Well,
because it
there's
won't be
20
aired by then.
people here, 15 people here.
Saturday is the John Burke Memorial Scholarship Spaghetti Dinner. It's at the Village Hall / Highland Mills Firehouse from 5 to 7 p.m. Yes, 5 to 7 p.m. It's $10 per person. Children under 5 eat free. And I think that's all I got.
Okay. So I also would like to congratulate all the officers who got promoted. Thank you, Chief, for, bringing us a variety of individuals who are well-qualified, and any one of them could have been promoted out of that group that you brought to us, so that was very nice. Also, thank you for bringing so many new officers to our community by, searching them out and saving us a lot of time and aggravation of going through the academy by finding officers who just wanted to transfer. So that was a good thing, too. In addition, congratulations, Jackie, and congratulations to Frank and Bob, and to the village who also won. And the only thing I differ is that the turnout in the town was not good enough. And the problem is, if only 2,300 people come out to vote, okay, you're going to lose your town. You're going to lose your village. There's over 7,000 registered voters. 2,300 people came out to vote. It's not enough. So remember what happened to Monroe, okay, and let's not have that happen to Woodbury. So all of the silliness and all of the nonsense is over with and done with. Remember that moving forward. I wish you all a good night and a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Motion?
Motion to close.
I have a second? I'm sorry, do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Good night.